Hello, my name is Samantha Cologne, also known as Sam, and I'm going to be answering some questions while also doing makeup. So it's like a get ready with me plus a Q&A. She's a YouTuber now. No, I'm kidding. So I work for the amazing escape room in Edison. I'll put up a logo. Sam, use editing. And yeah, so if you want to continue watching the video, find out what questions I answer or what other ramblings that I do, stay tuned. If you end up enjoying my video and you feel like you want to vote for me, give me a good old thumbs up or however they do the voting thing. So yeah, stay tuned. Enjoy. That's a threat. Well, essentially, I'm just gonna be kind of making it up as I go along. I know I want to be a bit more like a zombie, evil, elf. I mostly just keep with my actual name, Sam. That's me. Most of the time, if other people are like putting my group in, I usually end up getting someone else's name because they think whoever briefed them is me. So yeah, there'll be times where I would be running a game and like I would hear,
"They call me Hell. They call me Stacy. They call me her."
I'm like, I'm not that person, but you know what? It's all surprising at the end. I was like, oh, you were the game master. Yep, it was me.
Fool you!
As far as like code names, yeah, I just kind of go with like my own, mostly because that way they can spell it correctly in them reviews. You know what's up. I know in October when we all dressed up in different costumes and stuff, I kind of used like my character name, like whichever I was dressing up as, whether it would be slasher stuff like, you know, Jigsaw, someone was Michael Myers. Other than that, I just kind of go with my own. So whenever I get people who come back, it's like, oh, you were our game master last time. I'm like, yeah. It never happens, but you know what? I'm hopeful. Going back to like October, I think one of my favorite moments was we hooked up Cabin. There's not actual physical actor in there. It's mostly just like a storyline. Before the serial killer comes back to his cabin, you had to sabotage. Whenever they're at certain points of the game, whether they're like trying to open a safe or answer a phone, the wall is shared between two different games. So if there's no mansion game happening, I'm like waiting on the opposite side of that wall. I would like wait and then I would bang against the wall. People like freaking out and stuff. So I've always loved that moment. Just love like the Halloween stuff. It's mostly just during briefing. I don't say like too much unless like someone gets hurt, or not really get hurt. Like if they like bump into something, which usually happens in like mansion because you have to like go under something. I'm not gonna say what I did. You're just gonna have to try out the room. And occasionally if people are very excited or you know they want to try to solve the puzzle as soon as possible because they probably have 50 minutes left and there's like 30 minutes of like puzzles to do. They usually tend to rush and bump their head, and oftentimes I would, you know, I would do a little mental health check because they bumped their head, and that's where all the mental is. And oftentimes I would just be like, "You're okay." But other than that, like another phrase that I use would just be like when I'm briefing like a group, and I would just be like, "There's gonna be some stuff that you are not allowed to touch." Because it's probably what powers the room or powers the building. And if it says don't touch, it's not subtext. Because most of the time, I would have guests that would just be like, oh, it says don't touch, but maybe they want me to touch. No, it just don't touch it. Just don't touch it. Nothing to it. Things that food. Food. I need food. It does help to have food nearby because I get hungry. Not that what I do is really physically demanding. And it's convenient, our location, being the fact that, like, everything's right across the street. When we have days when we're like stacked up and there's not really enough time to walk or drive across the street where there's like a Family Dollar or pizzeria or even a Wendy's like just around the corner, it's good to kind of have food either already on hand or DoorDash, Grubhub, whatever apps we use that day. Let's just say it's utilized a lot. If I'm not thinking about food, another must-have would be honestly something to do. Um, Most of the time I'm either like making decorations like for either a specific room or for like the lobby, or even just like fixing puzzles and stuff, because there'll be times where we just need to be fixing puzzles and there's no game happening where that puzzle belongs to, and we're just like fixing that. Sometimes I like to bring something either like art related and stuff. If you haven't already guessed, I like to do some art in my spare time.
I may not have eyesight, but I have vision.
I guess it would be this one group that I had. This was like at the very end of the day. We got a new shipment of like bouncy balls for one of our rooms. We had one group of guys. It was like maybe like 4 or 5 of them. And they were doing cabin and they got some puzzles right. And like they all just kept shouting like balls, but one of my coworkers like grabbed like a handful, ran into the room and threw them in there, and they were so thrown back because like they said balls and then lo and behold there's like balls bouncing all over the place. So it was fun kind of like messing with them and stuff, and eventually they got out. Granted, I gave them like a little bit more time, but they got out. Like my favorite customers, just ones that are like really easygoing. It's not that I hate, it gets very old whenever I get like a group, like especially if it's like a hard room or even cabin, which is like second hard, and they just take it way too seriously. And like I don't want to like break the immersion, but there'll be times where I would have to like either message them through the monitor or
FBI, open up!
I usually am pretty liberal with hints, especially if it's a group that's like never done it. If I get like a request that says do not help us until we ask for help, I will hold that to them. Whenever I get a group that is like we'll get it, we'll ask for a hint when we need one, and then like I know they're 20-30 minutes behind and I like send them a hint, they would get like really pissed, and I I just want you to succeed. That's all I want. Is that bad?
Why are you the way that you are? I hate so much about the things that you choose to be.
I pretty much hand out hints like it's candy. I do ask people to dance if they run out of hints. Very rarely people actually follow that rule. But the ones that do, oh, they go all out. And it makes it enjoyable for not only myself, but it kind of makes everyone, I don't know, a bit more comfortable. I have not tried other escape rooms, unfortunately. I just haven't really had like the chance, because I feel like escape rooms are meant to be done in a group, and like you need friends.
Ooh, self-burn. Those are rare.
And the thing is that like me and like my other like coworkers slash friends, whenever we like talk about going to another escape room, we talk about it, and then days will go by and nothing has happened yet. We'd love to. We'd love to go to like Princeton or Cherry Hill or even Greenbrook. I hear a lot of cool stuff about Greenbrook. So shout out, even though I haven't been there yet. I did go to a Bury the Hatchet though, and it was in the one like Brooklyn or like somewhere in New York. That was fun. That was fun. Almost died, but that was fun. I should probably not say that. So I definitely would love to try like another room. So I definitely have tried the ones that I currently work in, if that counts.
No one cares!
Creative liberty? I've had many jobs in the past. Like, I used to work for like a theater. I felt like I wasn't really able to be as creative as I am with this job. For the month of October, like, instead of buying expensive decorations, which, to be fair, it's effective, but I came up with the idea that, you know, not only should we make our decorations, but they should be like recyclable. So like once they're done, we could either use them for next year, recycle, reuse, or put them in recycle. I made a bunch of like little signs over the doors so that way people know, you know, what room they're gonna be in, which is really cool. It was also really cool to have like guests really appreciate like the stuff that I make. It's a lot of fun to put myself out there. Like I was able to like paint like a mural right behind like reception. That's like the first thing that the guests see. I have like this creative outlet, so it does help a lot. I'm gonna try to like speed up the rest of the makeup so that way I have enough time to answer the last question, because I didn't think I would be able to answer all these questions so fast. So it's really cool having people who you just really get along with. Also having like a really cool boss is like a plus. Just having one that's like really down to earth, because like you can be comfortable going up to them about things, whether it's like involving like the work conditions or even just like more personal stuff. That's always appreciated, to have like a down to earth boss. Read everything. Even if you're not gonna need it in the moment, just read it. Don't assume that you're gonna need it now. You really never know if you actually are gonna need it right now, or it's gonna be like the last thing you need. But yeah. Also, just freaking like, just listen to the rules in the beginning, because the amount of times that we have to like fix things because someone didn't hear that, oh, red dot means don't touch. If it says don't touch, you should probably not touch it.
Boom. Roasted.
But as far as like following rules, like, come on. The rules for a reason, and also budget. Like, there'll be times where I would have a group and they're like on the very last puzzle and they have to do like all of like these things and they completely ignore like one document that they needed because they got it like a while ago. And sure enough, some also like don't flip pages over. Not flipping over the page, and when I go in I was just like, did you do this? And then they all look at me and they look at like they look at each other and they're just like, huh, you know what, we hadn't considered that. And I'm just like,
Why are we still here?
alright, so this is the final look. How are we feeling, Mr. Krabs? I can't see. Well, thank you so much for nominating me. Whoever did that, you rock.
I rock and roll all day long, sweet Susie.
If you enjoyed this ramble, vase, if you just wanted something playing in the background, hope you enjoyed whatever you were doing. I hope stuff on Instagram was cool. I hope folding your laundry was fun, or doing your homework was fun. I'm glad to have provided auditory, relaxing vibes. I just want to say thank you for listening. If you want to support me, if you want to catch up on my antics, all of my social media, if it's not up here in the frame, definitely check out in the link in the description. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day or night, whatever time you're watching this video. If you feel like I did an awesome job, or you enjoyed hearing me ramble and get distracted, definitely vote for me. If you thought this video was creative, vote for that too. Thanks so much for watching. Ta-ta!